Welcome to WrestleCulture. I wrote this specifically with you in mind.
Okay, I'm excited.
It's been a while, so.
It's been a while.
Phil, it seems we never, ever agree. You like Mick Foley, and I like Rocky. You grow great beards, and I just grow tash. You love WrestleMania, and I love the Great American Bash. The fans were saying WrestleCulture's time's past. There's Cultaholic and Brian Last. You like it quiet, and I love to shout. But when we get together, it just all works out. The Fed takes all our money, it takes all our cash. It doesn't matter because it's time for Backlash. And you know, this is wrestling titles changing in a flash. Let's get excited because this weekend's Backlash.
Nice.
Have that, Paula Abdul.
Take that.
I'm Adam Wilbourn.
Cartoon cat.
I always think of I look like a cat whenever I hear that song. Family Guy's ruined it for me. Anyway, I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by Phil Chambers from WhatCulture to discuss, well, I was going to say all the goings on in wrestling this week. For the past month, I suppose.
It's been a while.
We haven't got time. We'll probably just do WrestleMania stories and then talk about Backlash, to be perfectly honest. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we review Raw, SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete. We'll have a good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, they're joined by Phil Chambers. And get well soon to Adam Nicholas. All that traveling has finally caught up with him.
Finally.
How was it for you?
We've got a good replacement.
Yes, microphone. Good to see you as always. How was your travels?
Bloody great. Don't know if anyone has been keeping up with the Phil and Fred's Excellent Adventure podcast.
I listened to the first one and got real sad, but now you're back. Maybe I'll listen to the rest of them because they were a wonderful snapshot of your time.
It's going to take me a while to listen back to those before getting real sad all over again. But the NBA playoffs is still going on.
I know you and Hamlet can't stop talking about it.
And there's a game on tomorrow at like 8:30 our time. So win for me.
Is it your teams playing each other as well?
It is my teams playing each other.
Who's your strongest bet for winning the big one?
I don't know. I don't have a read on anything. I've got the Knicks, the Cavs, the Celtics. So Knicks Celtics is playing tomorrow.
If they want the Celtics keep surrendering 20-point leads.
Yeah. That's the one. And the Cavs desperately need a win soon. My God, they're already 2-0 down. Who's the other one?
Is Cavs LeBron's team still?
No.
Oh, he's the Lakers.
He's the Lakers.
Yeah,
they're already out of here.
Yeah, it's on my beloved Bucks I saw, because I think you got them.
They're gone. I got them.
Giannis, not another one for him.
The Bucks.
Yeah. I love the fact that you two have just become basketball men
Basketball guys. I've decided that whoever wins out of my teams in this is going to be my team going forward.
Good.
It always used to be the Bulls because of Michael Jordan and
the Dolphins because of Ace Ventura.
Dolphins because of Ace Ventura, obviously. The Mighty Ducks because of the Mighty Ducks.
Yep.
Obviously. So I'm going to leave the Bulls back in the 90s.
Yeah, that's fair.
Where they belong, probably.
Are they just rubbish now?
Yeah, they're quite rubbish.
Okay.
Now. And then whoever wins out of my teams, that's going to be my guys. Nuggets, the Denver Nuggets. That's my other team.
Right, okay. But yeah, how was, because I've promised and I am going to deliver WrestleMania stories. How was WrestleMania week for you? It was
goddamn great.
Unforgettable, wasn't it? I think it's the best word I've used to describe it. Like, not just obviously, every WrestleMania is great. It could be the worst WrestleMania ever, and we just have a great time with the fans and what have you, and just seeing the city that it's in. As long as it's not like in the UK. Ugh.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Who wants that?
But it was just like so many new experiences, the best live show we've ever done.
Yeah. It was like going into this, it was one of the more stressful ones because of we kind of just went real big with it.
Yeah.
Not to sniff our own farts for a bit. It all went really, really well. And I think it's definitely the most sort of creatively and like professionally fulfilling weekend, I think, that we've done outside of like WCPW stuff.
Yeah.
We've just done, which is just nuts because it's like, why the hell am I?
You can't really appreciate
Mysterio
WCPW
right
at the time, can you?
Yeah.
Whereas this, you did have a chance, like we'd sit in Aurora Bar after filling it with people for Miller's Ups and Downs and be like, It's crazy. We're on that sign over there.
It's like the partnership with MGM. It's like never dreamed of getting a partnership with anyone like MGM. That's like our stupid YouTube bollocks is suddenly on the walls of MGM casinos.
Me, you, Hamflet, and everyone else just clinging to that. I think it was a WrestleVotes tweet that was like, I think they're planning to do Las Vegas again in 3 to 5 years. 3 years, please.
3 years.
3 years preferably.
Will be fine. 3 years is fine. So now the problem is we need to top it next year at New Orleans.
Hamflet's already pitched for anyone in the New Orleans area who can hook us up.
Yeah, anyone. Let us know.
Been Googling hotels already. It's sooner than you think because, of course, this was the latest WrestleMania we've ever had. Yeah. And it's a week earlier,
next year. Which I think is a wise choice.
Yeah. I can't believe it's Backlash this weekend.
It's coming around so goddamn quick. It never stops, guys.
Then it's Saturday night's main event. Then by early June, we get Money in the... Just stop for a bit.
It never stops.
Never pause on this.
Never just stop and smell the roses.
No. Have you got any stories from WrestleMania? I've got one. I'll tell what you think of it.
Hello, go on.
That haven't been told on podcast yet. I'm going to pull back the curtain somewhat. We've alluded to it maybe, but I don't think we've ever discussed it on podcast or on camera of the time we had at Wrestlemania meeting Brian Alvarez. So me, Phil, and Nicholas went to Wrestlemania. Shout as always to Kazim and to Wale and all the gang who let us in. And I know I'm still holding the candle that they're going to go back on there.
I think they'll get the itch maybe, but it'll be sad if it is the last one. But it's a hell of a run they got out of that. It's
always such a it's the first night we really feel we've gotten over jet lag maybe because we get there on a Wednesday, Thursday you're just all over the place, and then you're like, okay. America. It's Thursday night. The ball is starting to roll for WrestleMania weekend. And then you go to that, and everywhere you look, that's Chris Bay. Fantastic to see him, obviously. And you spoke to him. It's lovely to see him up and about, obviously, in an incredibly traumatic time for him, but just an amazing story. You saw Big E as well, said hello to him. Yeah. Omos, who we cannot say enough nice things about, who saw us across the weekend, basically. And I believe
interview will be going out at some point soon. It's loaded up to the YouTube channel, so it'll be probably next week, maybe, our interview with Omos.
Despite our podcast rivalry, we put that to one side. The lovely Sam Roberts was very kind enough to give us a long interview because these sort of things we can't really plan for. We can plan for, okay, we'll film what went down here. We'll do ups and downs in the Aurora Bar. Yeah. Wrestlemania every year is like, we could turn up and, like last year, just be like, I guess we're just having a few drinks with some amazing wrestlers. Or this year, we're like, that's a really nice area. Do you reckon we can get through there? And security was like, yeah, you've got the right things on. So we got in the backstage bit for that and filmed them there because it was very loud. Obviously, it's just in a club. And so, yeah, we saw a variety of different... Sir Wilkins, I should mention him. Always lovely to see him. And he asked me, one of the first thing he said to me was like, how's the family? You're not used to answering questions that are related to you, not wrestling related, which kind of threw me. But it was lovely to see him again, along with, we saw Xavier Woods. That wasn't nice, but we're sort of wandering around, and I'm going to pin this on both of us, Phil. So I'm glad Nicholas is here to gloat. Fair. We're looking around, obviously, with who can we chat to, and I think we've done Omos and Sam at this point.
Yeah,
and it's all it's all a bit awkward because people are there just having a good night. You don't want to be like, come on, let's go talk wrestling for 15 minutes.
Yep.
But then I see Brian Alvarez, and I've never met Brian Alvarez, and he is kind of the reason I got back into wrestling, certainly the reason I got into wrestling podcasts.
I enjoyed this because the only time I've ever really seen Simon Miller mark out about someone was when I saw him meet Brian Alvarez for the first time. That was back at StarCast for all.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we did an interview. The interview will be online somewhere.
I remember watching it from that weekend when you were in Chicago.
Yeah. But the very similar thing of oh my God, it's Brian Alvarez.
I said genuinely, I don't know what I want to ask him about. I'm sure we can make something up, but I would be more than happy to just stand and talk to him for 10 minutes and like you say, mark out and say thank you. Nicholas, the wise-headed member of the group, said, "Sure, that's Brian Alvarez." Me and you, shut up, Nicholas.
Of course it is. Look at him.
It's a wrestling event. It's a pretty snazzy shirt he's wearing, but I think we're going to shout out to Brian Alvarez, and we lose him for a bit, don't we?
It's an interesting swagger he has walking around.
Yeah, snazzy. I've never seen him wear, but it's Wrestlemania.
A little bit of a strut going on, but it's Brian Alvarez. It definitely is.
And we lost him for a bit, and then I think I'd gone to the loo or gone to the bar or whatever, and walking back, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to chance my arm, and then if he's cool, then I'll go and grab Phil, and we'll run through. And I subsequently told you this as I came and sat back down with you. It was like a little VIP area, but it wasn't really VIP because the security guy couldn't have cared less yet again. And I see him, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do it. I don't know if I just got more Dutch courage in me or what. I'm going to say hello to him. And there's steps down, and he's talking to a lady in there, and he turns round as I'm walking down the steps. And for some reason, instead of just, because he looks at me, I decide to go, hey! And I walk, and you and I both wear glasses, so we have somewhat of an excuse here. I walk, and I walk, and I walk. And I walk up to him, and I get about 2 yards away from him, and I go, it's not Brian Alvarez, that, is it? It looks a bit like him from afar. And if in a loud room, you can hear Brian Alvarez's voice in your head. But so I had to be like, pretend to be maybe slightly more drunk than I was. So I was like, hey! In my head, that's not Brian Alvarez.
Oh,
like, what a mania, what a show, huh? Bye. Just came and sat down with you. No, it's not Brian Alvarez.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
What were some of your favourite WrestleMania moments?
Well, I think most of them have been covered in the Phil and Fred's Excellent Adventure podcast, which is available right now, wherever you get your podcast from. So, like, in terms of Hamflett falling asleep in a taxi and desperately trying to nudge him awake and, like, enticing him with, there might be Fed people there as the only way to possibly wake him up and get
going to the
going
Fontainebleau. He was eating ice in the back, wasn't he?
Yep. That's, well, you got to do what you got to do.
I didn't realise how much he drank at Flanker.
No.
Because we were just enjoying Raw. I had sort of in the back of my mind, we're probably going to do some content around this amazing Raw that we're watching after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I kind of, handbrake still slightly on. And
then he just went all in.
Turned back up. I mean, when he turned back up Aurora, he was still fine. He just got plied with drinks by people at that point whilst we were sorting other bits out. And suddenly I was like, oh boy, he's off the deep end here. And then just every now and again him turning around and going, why is Uber open on your phone? Or stop shutting your eyes.
Yep, stop falling asleep.
We saw Andrade in Fontainebleau.
We got him back. Him back. It was a pretty miraculous recovery, to be fair. He was in his head, he was already in bed.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
But
He was gone. He'd signed off at that point.
Apart from stuff like that.
And shout out to Fontainebleau, whose receipt was so vague, I've managed to put it through as a meal.
Nice.
Because it's like $25 for a cocktail. And they must have looked at that. It's all right, it's gone through now. They can't take it back, Future, so it's fine. They must have looked at it and gone, $25 at midnight? Well, that must be like a midnight snack. No, it's one cocktail.
Just one cocktail.
It was a sex on the beach or whatever.
It was really expensive. So I'm going to go in with random WrestleCon stories.
Yes, because I wasn't there for this.
There are interviews that aren't out yet, too. So there's a few interviews coming up on the channel. Indy Hartwell's going out today. Might be out by the time this podcast is out on the main channel.
Marking out for people.
Smoking and marking out. I mean, Indy Hartwell is definitely marking out for Simon Miller.
Oh God, is it Simon Miller? God. Is that Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely discovered that Indy Hartwell definitely fancies Simon Miller, definitely.
Yeah. Dexter Loomis better watch out.
Yeah. So that is going out soon, so you can see the sexual chemistry on display.
What a sell!
Between Indy Hartwell and Simon Miller. Check it out on YouTube on WhatCulture Wrestling, the main channel. I assume it'll go out as a podcast at some point as well.
Yeah. You can hear it.
But yeah, you can hear the sexual chemistry. So that's coming out. We've got Brian Cage coming out. Lovely chap.
Big lads, that, innit?
Big lads. Miller loves talking to Brian Cage because he just gets to talk to him about muscles. And he just likes muscles.
Yeah. You ever stood behind the camera going, talk about wrestling?
Like, shut up. Nobody cares. You mock.
Talked about Angle about his supplement thing.
Yeah, he loves it. So that's coming out, and there's a bunch of others. And as the Cat Miller recognized us and walked up to us to ask about a thing, which is like
he's
a
going
weird
on YouTube,
state of
or
affairs.
he is on YouTube.
He's going on YouTube. Yep.
He's seen is it Maven, who's got the really successful channel.
Yeah.
I'd love to get Maven on.
Yeah, we could definitely get Maven on. Maven's a fan of WhatCulture.
New Orleans will sort it out.
Before. We'll get Maven. So there's a bunch of stuff coming, but there's some standouts. Let's say. So the first one is Matt Cardona. Always
good value.
Always is a standout from
Maybe
any time.
Not monetizable, but always good value.
Nope. Last one he did definitely got very, very demonetized, but it's hilarious. So go watch that. And then there's another one that is also hilarious, which amazingly didn't get demonetized considering how much he was swearing at us. So if you haven't already seen them, 100% search for Matt Cardona on the WhatCulture Wrestling channel because they are wonderful, wonderful interviews. And yet again, here he is, Mr. Matt Cardona, making gold, absolute gold, because he decided to make it his mission to try and get Simon Miller fired from Progress Wrestling, seemingly.
Okay.
So he gets his shooting gun out and he goes all in.
But he's just dropped the title, presumably a couple of days before this.
And Simon Miller just has to sit there and let it happen because he can't say, please stop this.
No.
Matt Cardona, you might get me fired. As Matt Cardona is shouting.
He's already been chopped by Brody King at this point.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. He's just completely shooting on Simon Miller and Progress. So that's a lot of fun. Look out for that. Spoiler alert, Simon Miller kind of needs to get it cleared by Progress Wrestling before we're allowed to put it out. It's that bad. So that's going to be good fun.
Good.
So definitely wait for that. It's also one of those ones where, you know, when you're interviewing someone and you can see that they're having a good time, and like Matt Cardona just gets that like glint in his eye, like, this is fun.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying this.
And the obvious one that we have to mention, which again is maybe going through some work, let's say, is MXM Collection.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all I heard. I've never seen you so like, because WrestleCon's
Have
quite
I even
draining.
shown you this yet? I've not.
No, I've not seen it. I've just heard. I don't want to see it until it comes out on the channel now. I want to.
Oh no, you want to see the uncut version because the one that's going out on the channel might have to have some cuts.
That'll be the thing for next year. If you buy a ticket to our live show next year,
That's
Phil will
a
show you
good
the
selling
we
point.
Can play it
You'll
before
see
the show.
Uncut Maximum Male Models thing. It's like, it's not that long, but there's a little bit in the middle of it that they regretted.
Yeah, and I can see it. To be fair, having heard what it is, I can understand why.
I could definitely understand. It might involve The Rock.
But yeah, honestly, because normally, because it's early, and I always forget which days we do it. It's like maybe Saturday because we're going to like NXT and stuff.
Yeah.
But like we're enjoying Las Vegas. We aren't going to bed early. And normally you come back and you're like, yeah, we had a really good time at WrestleCon. Right, let's have a coffee and let's get to WrestleMania sort of thing. Yeah. This one you were bouncing. We've done the best interview we've ever done.
It's genuinely my favorite interview we have ever done on the channel. It is so funny from start to finish. They just go off on one on Simon Miller and everything else. It's incredible. Brilliant. They were in perfect form. I cannot wait for people to see this. I think it's going to go out next week, early next week. But it's so good. We genuinely, they message us afterwards going, please cut that part out. We might have gone too far. Leave the rest of the stuff in. That is also probably going too far, but it's fine. But they're a lot of fun, and I cannot wait because it's Miller just breaks down in the middle of it, and it's just I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but you'll know the part when it goes out. It's wonderful. I will show you after this because it is beautiful. I love it so much.
They had a great weekend as well because they did that, and then they were celebrating LA Knight losing his US title. I saw, which is good stuff. Huge fan.
And then the other one is obviously Brody King chopping Simon Miller, which is out now on the channel. You can see. Because it's
not a Brody King interview.
It's not. It's a Danhausen interview that Brody King randomly wanders in on and
steals Danhausen's money.
I've
watched it.
And then Brody King's just like, you want to chop? Just like out of nowhere. Apropos of nothing.
I rewound it like, have I missed a bit of this conversation that has led to this? And
absolutely not. And then you get that thing of Miller like, I know this will do views. I have to do this.
Gotta do it.
And a gigantic red handprint on his chest.
It's the terrifying sentence, which I've heard a million times, but it's never in this context, that Brody King utters just before it. He just says, gotta protect the business. At that point, I'd have said, stop. If that was me, I'd have stop filming, Phil. We're not doing this. We'll just pretend this never happened.
It's wonderful.
Hardest chop he's ever received.
And that is genuine. That reaction on the thing. Afterwards, Miller was like, I cannot believe how hard that jump was. Absolutely wonderful. So some really, really good stuff coming out of WrestleCon and some good stuff to look forward to on the channel, 100%. Yeah, I can't wait for you to watch the MXM thing. It's so good.
For us, the road to WrestleMania starts here. Because we're going to start asking people about New Orleans, and maybe because thank you to everyone who came and supported us. The success, genuinely, I think, you and I were talking in a separate work conversation about, I'm a firm believer in genuinely going out and celebrating your successes. Like, what's the phrase that Cena uses? Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
Yes, other people may not be happy about this for you, but if it's someone else, just be happy for them. And if it's your own, there's so many times you can get in your own head and just wallow in self-pity about stuff that hasn't gone right for you. Celebrate your wins, and this was a big win for us, and hopefully will be the catalyst for, I don't know, a few more shows. Some stuff in the UK later on this year. There's Survivor Series. Who knows? I've never done Survivor Series. You ever done Survivor Series?
Never.
Let's make it happen. Where is Survivor Series? I made this mistake earlier about saying Survivor Series or Rumble, and then I remembered the Rumble. Hamlet reminded me the Rumble's in Saudi.
Yeah.
So that's
that's
out.
Not doing the Rumble, unfortunately. That's the big one. It's somewhere in America.
Series.
Because they announced it, but it's not War Games.
Yeah, there's no graphic for War Games on the thing. Survivor Series 2020. Phil, it's in San Diego, mate.
Yeah, that's where it is.
You gotta make it happen.
Yeah.
But
We
as
can
I
go to Tijuana. You in Tijuana would be a very, very funny thing.
I'm not coming back. I'm barely made out of Vegas. But it is, yes, Backlash this weekend. Cena versus Orton one last time, as is being advertised. What's your memories of the legacy of Cena versus Orton? Were you watching when it was just like every month?
Good. It's not good. I think I missed a lot of it.
I dipped in and out.
Yeah, and then I think I started watching again, and it was still towards the tail end of it because it lasted 3 years.
Just
or something.
they'd always
just
do it.
Never stopped. It was absolutely ridiculous.
I don't think this is. I might have stood on my own dick here because there's questions about this in the quiz later. But I don't think I asked this. This is their 82nd match, not
Jesus.
singles. This is and I don't think this includes live shows.
Yeah.
So televised, if you include them being in rumbles and multi-man matches,
yeah.
the 82nd time they'll be across the ring from each other.
Insane. Wonder what the record is. That's got to be high up.
It's got to be right up there. I mean, if you include live events, I guarantee that goes to 100 and something.
That's insane. But no, so I missed. I have
First match, by the way, was the prototype, obviously. The OVW era, or NWA OVW, technically, actually, from 2001. It's a tag match. Prototype on one side, Randy Orton on the other. Randy Orton, of course, tagging with Bobby Eaton.
Of course.
And Prototype tagging with, say it with me, Rico. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
It's one of those things where I do have occasional fun memories of it because I was kind of when I was dipping in and out, I was like, I like this John Cena guy.
Yeah.
He was presented, if you weren't watching week to week, he was presented very well as he's just a good guy and a hero.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to him just destroying all of your favorites if you're not watching at that time. So I remember bits of their feud and when WWE try and sort of mind trick you of it's the rivalry of this era.
Yeah.
I remember that, not the I Quit match, the Iron Man match.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed that, I'll be perfectly honest. But I also remember watching that Rumble that they did, me and you, one more time, and thinking, no.
We don't need that.
It's been years. There's so many other stars there.
I think at least now there's a different edge.
It's
on
a
it.
cool,
It's a
dynamic
cool
now,
flip.
isn't it?
I can understand why they're doing it. It's probably been long enough as well now. When was the last time it happened? It must have been.
Well,
Oh.
maybe that'll be a
Hello.
Well, technically not the year. I can tell you the year, actually, because it's not that. 2017 was their last singles match.
There you go.
They last were in the same match in the 2018 Royal Rumble.
Damn.
Won by Shinsuke Nakamura, of course.
Of course. So it's been 8 years. So I can see why you would flip back on this and the different mix of the babyface and heel being whipped around and things. I can see why they're doing it. It's a good first defense for Cena. It's a logical match. There will be people with nostalgia about it. Not me, personally. And I'm not judging you if you do have nostalgia for it. That was just your era. That's fine. So I don't have the nostalgia gripping thing of what's this going to look like, but I am intrigued by it.
I am too, especially because it's the best possible match John Cena could have had was against Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
And I had fun, because I was at WrestleMania and it was the night 2 main event.
Yeah.
And I like Fiend. I say to be watching at home, not so much.
Another CM Punk one could be still
CM Punk
fun
will be
if we
great.
get round to that.
That's
See
the
if he pile drives him.
That's the title change for me.
That's the title change, yeah, I think so
But,
too.
combined age of, I think, 92 between the two men. Randy Orton bigger than ever before, arguably. Huge arms. I don't know whether this could be they've got great wrestling brains, so this could be a really well-worked slow match that you actually this is a nice change of pace compared to, I don't know, Becky versus Lyra that's going to be, just all guns blazing, or the 4-way featuring Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Or Gunther, which we will get to in a second. Or it could just be, God, this is a 20-minute match that feels like 40. It's so slow. And it's
so long as they don't try and
numbers.
eke half an hour out of this. Nobody needs that. Nobody really wants that.
There's going to be the spot where he hits in the AA and
they're going to go through the greatest hits.
Yeah.
It's always going to be fun, the 5 moves of doom and things.
I've suggested that John Cena attack Randy Orton's family.
Yeah. Why not?
You love John Cena's entrance now, don't you?
Yes, it is absolutely wonderful. The change in the Tron and the black with the white text is the most perfect Tron WWE have ever created, as far as I'm concerned.
Amazing.
And like entrance package. They need to do more with the countdown matches thing.
Yeah, I like that on the Raw after WrestleMania.
I really, really liked that. And I think there's a really fun story. I don't know if I've said this on a podcast or anything yet, but my pitch for that is a match is coming up. Like whether it's like CM Punk, for an example, it doesn't have to be that, but like a match that Cena knows is coming up, and that's the one that he starts to get scared about, where it's like, oh god, like this could be it, this could be the one I lose, and then he just keeps randomly showing up to different events, and it's like literally he just comes out, he gets the mic, and he says 12.
This counts,
and then he walks off.
I'd have it on the Tron, the number, you know.
Yeah. Each time he comes out, and then he just keeps on forcing it down as much as he possibly can, to the point where he's turning up at NXT because he's desperately trying to count down these days before this pay-per-view event.
Punk's waiting for him outside the arena so he can't get in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, no, you're not going to stop out. And then just desperately trying to scratch and claw to get these dates down before this one event. And then something happens where he has to miss one or something, and that's what forces him to go to the event. And like, I think there's like a really fun, interesting story that you can do with that that's never really been done before.
Yeah, because he's going to turn face at the end of all this.
Yeah.
And as a face, you don't go, that's my contractual obligation for my dates.
Yeah, done. Goodbye.
I remember that growing up as a kid with that. Like, the thing with, it was Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, wasn't it? And it was like, oh, we kind of really need to shove Stone Cold into this because Goldberg's only got like 4 dates to work. And I've always thought, like, why wouldn't you just say, Bill, for the benefit of this story, do you mind working a few extra dates and we'll chuck you a bit of extra quid? But it's wrestling, man. That's how this works.
Wrestlers are weird.
Lyra Valkyria, Becky Lynch has the potential to do the best match on this show, doesn't it?
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
mint. Do you think the title changes? Do you think you put it on Becky? Does that sort of legitimize the women's IC title more so than what you've had with... Lyra's been great, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I think, it needs a bit of a reset, and that's not Lyra's fault in any way, shape, or form. She was booked in a tag team match at Mania when it really should have been a featured thing because it's a brand new belt. Like, how many defenses has she had of this?
Not many.
Like 2 or something, if that. Like, don't know how many she's had on TV. But, like, it's never felt legitimized. It's never felt focused. And that's not her fault in any way, shape, or form. That's just the booking that she found herself in. So having a bit of a reset with someone like a Becky Lynch, I think, is a perfect thing for it right now.
I was looking at that. Oh, she's had loads of title defenses. WWE Road to WrestleMania house show. WWE Road. Does she she's done, like 4. Bailey, Raquel.
Any of them been on pay-per-view?
Ivy Naldikai, all on telly.
All on telly.
All on Raw.
So it's not exactly right. But with their history together, I think they can have a really, really, really great match. And I think in losing to Becky Lynch, you could legitimize Lyra more so just by having her have that really great showing on the main roster that she's had in like the NXT matches that she had with Becky.
She's one of many names, and I need to put a leash on myself here because every single person I go, they could be in Money in the Bank. I'll book Lyra in there. Chelsea Green, without question, should be in it and winning it.
And win it. She really should. Just won. Sorry.
I completely agree with the sentiment entirely. She is the best candidate in the women's division for me.
Yeah.
Charlotte would be funny. But, yeah, people like Gunther I've talked about being in Money in the Bank and Bron Breakker, and it's probably going to be like The Miz or whatever. But do an 8-man or 8-woman.
Yeah.
Just so I can cram more
Just
people in
get more
there.
people in it. Why not?
Well, I mentioned Gunther there. We have to talk about him. He's going to kill Pat McAfee tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be great.
He should. I kind of just want this to be like 8-minute. He just beats the ever-loving piss out of Pat McAfee, and he never even throws a punch. I would be kind of fine with that. Just Gunther unleashing all the rage in the world. And coming down on him like the hammer of Thor.
Yeah, it's a valiant thing that Pat McAfee's trying to do. But nevertheless, like when it was like an underdog fight with Jey Uso or Sami Zayn, best of all, they're professional wrestlers.
Yeah.
Pat's had 10 matches?
Yeah.
And what was his last one against Vince?
Yeah. Having run at him, maybe get a couple of punches in the beginning.
Bit of a hope spot.
Gunther knocks him down.
Yeah.
Bit of a hope spot later on. He really doesn't need a lot, but just show pure aggression, fire, and just fury from Gunther and have that be the match, I am fine with that.
And is this setting him up for a Goldberg retirement match from the
Kind of
reports?
seem like it, yeah.
It's a bit. I like this
for quite a while.
Yeah, we talked about this when it first started coming out. I think I do think Gunther is probably the best person I can think of to face. If you're not doing Bron Breakker, for example,
Yeah.
there's
Bron
no one
Breakker
else
would
you
be a
think
good
of.
one, but in terms of safe pair of hands that isn't going to kill Goldberg in his older age, he's going to chop the buggery out of him, and his chest is going to feel crap for a few weeks afterwards, but he's not going to be injured or anything. He's going to be fine.
I think Gunther's got the strength to get himself up for a jackhammer.
Yeah, definitely. He's a skillful guy. Is Gunther?
So you're going to get but I still think you should beat him. I think you got on your back. When you retire.
Yeah, me too.
Do you know what tomorrow is?
100%,
By the way,
Gunther should beat him.
Do you know what tomorrow is? The day of Backlash.
It's the NBA playoffs.
It is the NBA playoffs. It is the 10th of May. But it's also Gage Goldberg's birthday.
Oh.
So maybe his dad gets him a ticket to Backlash.
Maybe.
He's perfectly of age in terms of getting killed. He's like 19 or something. So
Good. Do it.
batter him.
Yeah.
In my head, I know I've seen the picture of him like, Jesus, he's like a football player or whatever now.
Yeah.
He's still the little pudgy little kid. Like, yay, I saw my dad win a title. This is mental.
Take your shirt off today.
Yeah. But now, kind of want him to die.
Yeah.
Not actually, but you know.
No, but you know. But yeah, die.
Yeah. Because I assume Goldberg's retirement match would be SummerSlam. Two nights, you need big matches.
Do that on a Money in the Bank or
you can
is there
arguably
another one between them.
you can arguably start putting together that there's a Saturday night's main event in like 2 weeks as well. You can already start putting together that SummerSlam card because you're like, well, we need think of it as akin to WrestleMania.
2 main events.
6 big matches, 2 big main events, other
2
big
openers.
You got Bayley, Becky Lynch, presumably being knocked around for that.
Yeah.
And then Cena title defense, Jey Uso dropping the title probably for me.
Yeah.
So you've got a fair few to work through, and I think a Goldberg retirement match that could main event one night.
Yeah.
No title, just
first night
legacy sort of thing. I quite like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have we done all the Jacob Fatu retains the US title, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
4-way. I've done that. Becky Lynch. What else have we got on that card? Cena, Gunther. There's another match and I've forgotten it. That's not a great sign, is it? Backlash 2025.
Ooh.
It is, of course, the star of the show, Dominick Mysterio.
Of course.
Dom versus Penta. Be interested to see how the crowd receives this because we were there, lucky enough to be there for the babyface win of the weekend.
Yeah, ridiculous. Who saw that coming?
He's in a big one. I'd love to interview Dominick Mysterio.
He'd be quite a funny interview, I think.
He doesn't. Every time I see him, he's
weird little guy,
isn't he?
Yeah.
And I don't know where I think he retains. I think the only chance of a title change is in that Becky match.
Yeah.
But how people take him versus Penta is going to be very interesting.
I mean, he's going to cheat to win if he does win, obviously. There's no way he's winning clean over Penta.
Nope.
I think it's a really interesting match, though, because Penta's style versus whatever Dominick Mysterio is.
Is Dominick going to do that?
Mix.
Please tell me he's going to do
He's
that.
Definitely going to do that.
Miedo.
And then he's going to break his arm.
Also, a really funny couple of weeks that you've probably missed half of. Me and Sige last week were doing this big, Liv Morgan, she's getting time off. She's going to Hollywood. She's getting this and this big Bad Lieutenant film, big, like this week is like, oh, they've finished wrapping the filming. She'll be back next week. It's like, 2 weeks. Can't have been that dramatic.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the news coming out about that. It's like life-changing role in Hollywood.
What was it? And he said that the new It Girl. I was like, first of all, I haven't heard that phrase since I think I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And second of all, what? I quite like wrestlers in movies. I always find that it's funny.
Yeah, it's always funny.
It's funny as well when they hit people in a movie.
Yeah.
Because you know what we all know. And we also know that's not happening there.
Yeah.
But you're meant to tell your brain it is because that's why the best one is Hobbs and Shaw when Roman Reigns hits a spear.
Yeah. Or, I can't remember what the movie is, but Rock Bottom's a guy through a glass table.
Yes. I swear. Triple H does something in Blade Trinity as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it's just like a slam or something. And
It's
I'm
always
like, there he is.
ridiculous.
There's the worker
Yeah.
right there. More wrestlers in movies.
More
Batista
wrestlers in
obviously gets all the
movies.
work in the world
Yeah.
for good reason.
And doesn't even Batista bomb anyone.
Here we go. Right, let's have a quick game. I'm going to pull up the WWE roster page. Tell me when to stop, and we'll cast this person in a movie. Current roster. Okay. Tell me when to stop. We'll just do it with this first one. Pick a number between 1 and 6.
2.
Oh, came real close to El Grande Americano there. Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee.
Enter the Dragon Lee.
Yeah, there you go. Nailed it. Or How to Train Your Dragon Lee.
Do you want another one?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, tell me to stop.
Stop.
Okay, pick another number between 1 and 6.
4.
I was so happy you said that. I was like saying it in my brain. We've seen her acting skills, and I think, like, what is it? Naughty Professor, where like Eddie Murphy plays like 6 different roles or whatever, or Monty Python where they all play.
Yeah.
You need someone like that, versatile, can play lots of different characters. You watching Nikita Lyons' entrance, she plays about 6 different people in that. So there you have it.
There you have it.
What was the one with
The new Hollywood star.
James McAvoy, who was like a psychopath, and he had like 20 different characters for it? I remember that.
Oh,
one.
yeah.
That's
I
what.
can't remember
That's
what it was,
Nikki.
yeah.
Have you seen the Nikita Lyons thing that was doing the rounds?
Yeah.
Where she's like, wow, L.A.
So strange.
Oh, come
All over
on.
the place.
What's
What are
your
you
thing?
doing?
Which one's your thing, Nikita?
Pick a lane.
One final question.
Yeah.
It's a hard-hitting question, but I'm going to hit it with you
It
anyway.
always is with you.
Before we get to this week's quiz, which is all about Backlash.
Of course.
Phil Chambers, should wrestlers use social media?
Yes.
For us, yeah.
Absolutely they should, because they always get it wrong, and it's funny.
Andy was saying in the office earlier that as a result of the actions of John Evans, who, for me, by the way, I know people are saying like, oh, well, all Ricochet did was said like I'd beat him or bury him or whatever. And then Javon Evans has overreacted. I was like, Javon Evans is 21.
Yeah.
He's a young boy, and he, whatever, felt he needed to say what he needed to say. I was like, in what he said, he kind of bodied Ricochet, to be honest, and went after AEW. I think he's probably going to get promotion to the main roster. He's probably the new member in the Rollins stable as a result of this.
I mean, if he gets released, he's completely screwed. But
Oh, yeah. But,
he ain't getting a job in AEW anytime soon.
but yeah. These things change, don't they?
Well, yeah.
I would not be surprised,
That's
despite
short
what he said
memories.
previously with Braun Strowman, if he goes up to AEW eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, certain things you shouldn't be saying online. But this, funny, isn't it?
It is funny, yeah. More of this, if anything. Why the hell not? It got people talking about him.
Yeah.
No one was talking about him before, so it's done the job, really.
And if people look at that and go, who's this John Evans? Like, NXT's viewership is going to jump past 1 million next week. Because A, say Javon Evans is going to have a live microphone, see what happens.
Yep.
And B, he's incredible in the ring. Like, genuinely, I think it was Hamflet who said the other day on one of our podcasts, he compared him to some of the amazing high flyers that AEW signed in recent years of, wow, so impressive on telly, but you have to buy a ticket to see that in person. Because I was there at Stand and Deliver, and I know what Javon Evans can do. I know the height he can reach. I know why they booked him in a match against Randy Orton, for example, because of what he can do compared to the million other high flyers that are doing the rounds in the business right now. And it was still like, has he got like bouncy shoes on or something? Because no one else seems to be able to hit those heights. He's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's very funny on social media.
He is very funny on social media.
Ricochet's playing this gimmick perfectly as well.
Yeah.
In a sense, he's probably going to get a slap on the wrist.
Probably.
Is that from Brian Danielson still running that side of things, where he's like,
Who
someone's gone off on social media, let's make some money.
And I don't know. It's always fun with these things, so long as like nobody's getting hurt from it. So it's like,
I'd rather that
Nobody
than
cares.
the sort of, we certainly had this years ago when I was working in radio, where people would tweet stuff, and then you'd find out like, the record company's taking their phone off them.
yeah,
And like now the overly sanitized, like, hi guys, really want you to check out my new music video. It's so much
My team is
boring
controlling
that,
my
yeah.
social media now. Really boring. Bring on the chaos. Bring on the idiots that maybe had one too many drinks and then started it. You know what the good example of this, our thing with Tamatonga would never have happened if he hadn't had a couple of drinks at New Year's.
Good point.
So, and look at the great stuff that came out.
Exactly. Exactly. And I don't think I'll ever forget, like, flashpoints of like, well, he's beating someone up in New Japan and talking about WhatCulture as he's doing it.
Yeah.
To nearly dying, obviously, with Haku, to him choking you out in Vegas in 2019.
It all started with him drunkenly texting about one of our articles.
To me seeing him just a few weeks ago and him going, "Hey, when my dad tried to kill you." Yeah. Glad we can laugh about it.
Enough times passed.
By the way, I've not seen enough people in this whole... You've seen this whole 100 men versus a gorilla debate.
Yeah.
Why isn't Haku's name being brought up in this?
This is true.
Like, people are saying, oh, I want Francis Ngannou, or I want Prime Mike Tyson.
100 Hakus versus a gorilla.
I don't need 100, do you?
No,
like
definitely
3.
not.
The eyes are gone after the first couple of goes.
We've seen Haku with the red mist.
Yeah.
You ain't stopping him.
Yeah, a lot
His
of these...
entire family couldn't stop him.
Exactly. A lot of these things sort of take into account, like, well, the first few men who get done by this gorilla, I think it's going to be, people are going to stop getting a bit scared.
Yeah.
Haku won't care.
No.
Go in, gouge its eyes
mist.
out. Oh,
Gone.
gorilla's dead.
Yeah.
On to the
One
next one.
Haku versus one gorilla.
There
Who
you
wins?
go.
Let us know.
Book that for SummerSlam, one of the 2 nights if you need a big match, I suppose. Anyway, enough of all this. It's now time for a bloody good quiz.
Haku
And
coming out of retirement for a meme is really funny.
yes, still do it. And this week's quiz, normally, obviously, we'd do this live on YouTube, but it felt inappropriate, and we're very busy today. So when Nicholas comes back, we'll be back to normal service next week. So normally, I would dedicate it to one of our brilliant people involved on YouTube in the chat. Instead, I'm just going to dedicate it to the Luxor and everyone at the MGM Grand and Aurora Flanker, HyperX.
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
Dedicate it to Las Vegas.
But specifically, the people who looked after us in Las Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely. The Luxor and the MGM guys were amazing.
I was going to swing at their names. Hannah, Emily, Vivian.
And...
Is there another one? I only met... Who's the guy?
Oh, no, you didn't meet the other one. So I'll keep that one a secret.
Right. But yes, this is more of a test for you, I suppose, rather than a quiz.
Okay.
Have to get above 5 or you can't go home.
Good. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Didn't know the stakes are quite so high. Stakes is high.
Yes. It is all about Backlash. Current Backlash card this year and previous years.
Good. Yeah.
We start off with something we talked about earlier. On what show was the last Randy Orton versus John Cena singles match? It was in 2017. Was it?
Backlash.
It was not Backlash. Can you
God
imagine?
Damn it.
Was it SmackDown, Raw, SummerSlam, or Great Balls of Fire?
Ooh.
2017. This is Randy Orton heading towards dethroning Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania.
SmackDown.
Tell you what.
Yeah.
What a start. Yeah,
Here we
sort of
go.
February.
Yeah.
As presumably as part of, I mean, you're all right, Bray. And, Harper, we're all good. I'll burn your house down. well, it's going to be hell to pay at WrestleMania. I'll put some maggots on the ring.
Oh, no.
What do you mean, physical magic? No, a video.
But there'll also be a snake.
Yeah. And this match is going to go a whole 7 minutes.
Yeah, that was bad.
Speaking of the history of Backlash, though, which wrestler has the most losses in Backlash history? Is it Triple H, Edge, Randy Orton, or Charlotte Flair?
Ooh. See, I went to Triple H in my head first because he's always, like, with these losing ones, he's actually not a bad shout quite a lot of the time. And especially since it's, like, Fallout for Mania time.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times, like, after Rock Austin, it was Rock Triple H at Backlash, wasn't it?
Or he'd, like, lose his title at Mania and then fight for it again.
Yeah.
Like Batista or whatever.
Triple H, why not? Let's go.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Second.
Okay.
Behind Randy Orton. So,
interesting.
Despite being in his hometown, it's not looking good this weekend for Randy.
Good.
Okay, question 3. How many Backlash pay-per-views, including, or PLEs, including this weekend, have there been?
Ooh.
14, 16, 18, or 20? It's been a lot.
It has been a lot. This is a nerd one that if your Hamlet was here, he'd just rattle off all the main events.
Oh,
from
yeah.
them, wouldn't he? 18.
No, dear, that's wrong.
20. It's the 20th Backlash.
Bloody hell.
Do you remember that year where they just went, it's not Backlash. It's always been called WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, that was dumb. It's got to be one of the longest running names for a pay-per-view, other than like the big four, obviously.
Yeah, it's got to be the big four, then that.
Yeah.
Like Money in the Bank.
Up there.
Money in the Bank. Yeah, Money in the Bank was part of
Not,
WrestleMania
not
for
many.
a few years.
Damn.
Other than Becky Lynch, who was one of Lyra Valkyria's wrestling inspirations? Was it AJ Lee, Finn Balor, Beth Phoenix, or Hornswoggle?
She's Irish. Finn Balor.
Well, I thought I could trick you maybe with the old... there's got more than two options there.
So Hornswoggle.
It was Finn Balor. All right, take you back, I'm really sorry, to Backlash 2020.
Good.
Nope.
Yeah. Thanks.
Which of these things didn't happen at Backlash 2020? Angelo Dawkins taking a bowling ball to the dick.
Yeah.
A giant ninja with a sword and Ivar summoning a turkey leg.
Yep.
A bin monster.
Sure was a time to be alive.
Or Ivar getting called cute by a referee. Which one of those things didn't happen at Backlash 2020? 3 of them did.
3 of them did. They all have at some point.
Yep. Giant ninja, bin monster, bowling ball, cute.
Oh, I don't know, because they've all happened, and that entire period is just a blur.
Who was the giant ninja? We'll never
We'll never know. We'll never know.
The 7 foot tall giant ninja.
The cute thing, was that during the match? Or was that before somehow? It's got to be during the match. It must have been like put him off. The bowling ball. Yay!
It was Montez Ford who took a bowling ball to the dick. Is the correct answer, which means at the halfway point you're 3-2 up. You're 2 away from going home.
Here we go. Let's go home.
And possibly something that you should... No, I wrote this with the knowledge that it was just going to be me and Phil, hence the song as well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'll give you a question that's kind of home field
Randy
advantage
Orton
here.
versus Mick Foley.
Who eliminated Penta from the WCPW Pro Wrestling World Cup?
Oh.
Was it Kushida, Ricochet, Will Ospreay, or Joseph Connors?
Oh.
We have made some proper talents, haven't we?
Yeah, you're welcome, wrestling. So.
We remember the final.
Yeah.
Kushida, Ospreay.
Ospreay.
Man flipped the table, stood
It's
next to me.
not Ospreay. I feel like I would have remembered us doing Ospreay Penta, because that's an amazing match. Ricochet Penta, was that a thing? Ricochet Ray was a thing.
Ricochet Keith Lee was the thing, wasn't it?
Ricochet Keith Lee was a thing. He did
remember
the
that.
Spirit Bomb, and Ricochet bounced so high.
How low's this roof? It was in Manchester, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I always did
It
Manchester.
was ridiculous.
Because I always would forget to buy food and then remember, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I don't think Ricochet Penta was a thing. Maybe Joseph Connors, because he was a last-minute addition to the thing because someone couldn't make it. I can't remember who.
Going Joseph Connors?
Joseph Connors.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Ricochet was the right answer.
Was it Ricochet?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
So, where was that? Let me just run through the... Because I looked at this earlier and I was like, that really, really takes me back. So, yeah, the semis were Will Ospreay versus Ricochet, obviously. And Joseph Connors versus Kushida. The quarterfinals, Jesus. Kushida versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Damn.
Hiromu Takahashi versus Joseph Connors.
Of course.
Ricochet versus Penta. And Will Ospreay versus, I don't know if you know this guy, Mike Bailey.
Yeah, I do remember that one.
Rey Mysterio going out.
That was damn good.
Rey Mysterio and Helico, R.I.P. Bad Bones. Joe Coffey, Lucky Kid. Jay Lethal. You're lucky bastards you are that we did this for you.
I miss Lucky Kid.
I do too. We randomly stumbled across him on I forgot what his weird NXT UK name was, and I was trying to remember what Lucky Kid was called. He was lovely. Couldn't have been nicer.
It was.
Right. 6 questions in, 3 correct, 3 wrong. Question 7.
Okay.
Why did Pat McAfee almost walk out of WWE at WrestleMania 35? Did he get into an argument with Hulk Hogan backstage? Because he called him McAfee Pat or something. Did The Miz's dad threaten to fight him? Did Michael Cole yell at him for wearing shorts? Or was he cold and tired and wanted to go home early?
I mean, probably the last one, but also the shorts.
Yay!
Yeah, and the person who apparently made the call, Vince McMahon, who said they looked hip.
Yep.
Michael Cole, look, considering their friendship now.
I know, yeah, it's a weird.
What the hell are you doing wearing shorts? Idiot.
What a turnaround.
I mean, he probably did feel stupid when it got to like 3 a.m. and the matches were still going on.
Yeah.
So I sense he's probably gone inside at that point.
How much they needed to pee during all that 8-hour WrestleMania.
Piss yourself.
I assume they just pissed themselves. Maybe that's why he was wearing shorts. He had to take his pants off because he pissed himself.
It was Pat McAfee, the first introduction I got to him through, like, I think it was on an NXT show, like a takeover. I was like, who the hell's this guy? He is.
It was a real introduction if you didn't know, like from the UK, not having a goddamn clue who he was beforehand. It was really weird.
And even when you got it explained, sorry, so he kicks the ball for an American football team, and then now I'm listening to him. Why? He's class now. Love him.
Yeah.
Didn't realize he was part of the Colts either. Go Colts. Which of these men weren't zombies at WrestleMania Backlash? Oh, yeah. It's got a checkered history. So 3 of these were. Who was the one who wasn't a zombie? Bron Breakker.
Damn.
Tony D'Angelo. Ikemen Jiro. Or Harland. Parker Boudreaux, as he's known.
Damn. I don't know.
3 of them.
Harland.
Great news for you. You can go home.
Nice.
Not yet. It was
Not yet.
2 more questions, one of which is the hardest question of all, let's not forget.
Of course.
Yes.
We did it.
Bron Breakker is a zombie.
Bron Breakker as a zombie is really funny.
See if I can find a picture of that. WrestleMania Backlash was real bad, wasn't it?
Yeah. I only picked Harland because they were making the big deal of like, oh, he's the next Brock Lesnar.
There he is. Look. I think Scotty Too Hot is in that picture. So. Is that him there? That's Bron there, isn't it?
Yeah. Scotty Too Hot is definitely one. Is he the one in the middle?
Surely. Holding it all together.
Holding it all together. Like he always did.
Oh, boy.
Ridiculous. What a time. What a time that we should never, ever, ever go back to.
WrestleMania Backlash. What was else was on that card?
The eye for an eye.
No.
Was that Extreme Rules?
Oh, maybe.
That was Extreme Rules.
That can't have been it. No, I've gone 2022. That's when people were there. Oh, yeah. They had a few years of WrestleMania Backlash. Best match ever. Of course.
Of course. That definitely was.
Oh,
The
boy.
bar fight. Was that the same as... Oh, is that the one where he threw the beer in Jeff
The
Hardy's
piss,
face?
yeah.
The piss beer.
Was it 20? It must have been 2021 then. WrestleMania Backlash 2021 with the zombie fight. Yeah, Damian Priest versus Miz Zombie Lumberjack match.
Yep. Zombie lumberjack match.
Dom and Ray won the tag titles.
What a world.
Bianca Belair fought Bayley. Bobby fought Braun and Drew. And Roman Reigns beat Cesaro.
Damn.
27 minutes. The Zombie Lumberjack only got 7. Give it
Dang.
him. And then didn't Miz die at the end of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P.
And we never saw him again.
Yeah. A final couple of questions for you, Phil. What went wrong at last year's Backlash? Backlash France. Was it a promo?
Backlash, as they called it.
A promo was wrongly translated for the French crowd, causing offense. The wrong person was pinned in the tag match because they weren't legal. Tonga Loa botched pulling the referee out. Or someone threw a croissant in the ring when Jey Uso lost. What are you going for?
Wish they did. I've got a feeling by the tone of your voice. One of them stands out more than the others. So Tonga Loa.
Yay!
I hope he returns this weekend. Final question for you then. Jacob Fatu defending the US title at Backlash this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But before joining WWE, Jacob Fatu worked
Here we go.
GLCW Blizzard Brawl Attitude
Good night. Catchy.
as part of Team Control Your Narrative.
Ooh, hello. God, that was a time.
EC3 fodder, Jacob Fatu, Luke Curtis, and Shira with Angelina Love accompanying them.
Of course.
But there was a 5-man team. I'll tell you the people in the team. Al Snow, D'Lo Brown, Doug Basham, Dustin Jackson, and Cal Hero.
Obviously.
But what was the name of their team for taking on Team Control Your Narrative? Was it Team Fanny Pack Party?
Good.
Degeneration Sex? A Pussy? Or the Minge Event Mafia?
God damn it. I wish it was one of the other three, but the fanny pack one.
Yay!
7 correct answers.
Yay. Al Snow does love a fanny pack.
He does. I need to stop wearing it again, I think.
I could see you being a fanny pack guy.
Yeah. I meant to take one to Vegas to keep all the chips and stuff in. And then I just lost all my money instead.
You wear it around your waist or one of like the cool kids?
Oh,
do,
no.
like,
No. If we're doing it, we're doing
around
it
the
properly.
waist.
It's a bum bag here in the UK.
Yeah, it
by
is
the
a
way.
bum bag. Fanny pack. Shut up. Bum bag.
Represent. Congratulations.
Bum bag for life.
Phil, you have won this week's quiz. Let us know how you got on in the comments section. No, we're not on YouTube. Maybe we are, maybe we're not. Regardless,
Who knows?
at WhatCulture WWE on X. Watch, they can follow both of us. You can follow Phil Chambers at
Fill my chambers and follow Adam at
Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. Please do let us know as well your WrestleMania stories. I love hearing about these, especially if you bumped into us. And thank you to everyone who sent their photos from across the weekend.
Good stuff.
Even now, when I see them, I get real happy, then real sad. But if you want to check out some other podcasts, you can check out our Backlash preview. Myself and Michael Hamlet earlier on today talking all about this weekend's PLE, and definitely check out Phil and Fed's excellent adventure for all the travel diaries that brings. But for now, this has been WrestleCulture. My thanks to Phil Chambers. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon. WrestleCulture is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Wrestling! Go away, coyote!